Stick around, ladies and gentlemen, because today we knocking out cabbage rolls. Time to get your pot heated up. We're going to put this in kind of a medium-low setting for now. Also, off to the side, we got some water heating up because we're going to be putting our cabbage in there so we can soften up the leaves. Now, over at our prepping area, it is time to get crack-a-lackin'. I'm chopping vegetables for the sauce first because I'm going to want that to cook down for quite a while. Here I have a green bell pepper, 1 yellow onion, and 1 stick of celery. Let's knock this out. Hiya! I'll go ahead and throw that away. All right, guys, back over to our hot pot. We're going to be throwing in some Novello Italian extra virgin olive oil from Rouse's. If you guys have not seen this, man, this stuff is so good. My wife and I made a video on it. It's like the freshest olive oil I've ever had in my life. Comes straight from Sicily. We're going to put about 2 tablespoons of this. There we go. And then we drop in our vegetables. You already know. Stir it around. If it seems kind of high like this, you know, I mean, with gas especially, like, what I think maybe medium-low might be medium, so I'm going to go down even more. Just kind of bring the fire down so I can walk away from this at times. I got other things I need to do. I'm going to add a little bit more of this olive oil, too. There we go. That'll be nice in there. Oh, yeah, there we go. So this is simmering really nice. I can let this sit here for a little bit, come back periodically, and work on something else. So what I have here is this beautiful head of cabbage that I did pick up from my Rouse's Markets. I took the outer leaves off of it, threw them away. They're just kind of wilted. You really don't use that. And then I just washed it real good just to get some of the dirt off of it. What I want to do from here is I want to remove this center layer right here. I say layer, but just this little stem right here. I'm going to carve in and go all the way around and just kind of get it out. You know, you want to be very careful when you do this. Kind of go in a little bit there. You know, there, and just go all the way around. Probably not in the direction you should be going towards your hand. You probably should be going like this, more this direction, but, you know, I'm kind of at an awkward angle so I can film this. But you get the idea. Let's get it done. And there we go. So we'll just discard this right here, and we're going to plop this whole thing in our boiling water. We will put this bad boy in, not hurting ourselves, hopefully. Woo! There we go. I think I'd like to flip it over here. See if I can get it flipped. There we go. Perfect. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and put the lid back on and let it boil for 10 minutes. All right, so we've been cooking these down for about 10 minutes. We're going to continue to cook them for probably another 10, and then we'll move on from there. So this has been cooking down for 20 minutes total. At this time, we add a tablespoon of minced garlic. There it is. Blend that in. You don't want your fire too high when you add garlic because it will burn. We're going to cook this down for another 5 minutes. We have removed our cabbage. Just let that thing chill for now. To our vegetables over here, we're adding 6 ounces of tomato paste. Well, some of it. Just going to mix that in there real good. There we go. We're just going to cook this down for another 5 minutes. Let it all get real soft and married. All right, so this is cooked down beautifully. At this time, we'll be adding a 28-ounce can of crushed tomato. But I'm going to add just a little bit of it first. That way I can take some of the, I guess, thin juices of this crushed tomato and break up the bottom here. All right, now the rest of it. All right, to this we will be adding a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce and an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. Just gonna mix this in real good. Just to let you guys know, I'm also cooking some rice at this time. 1.5 cups of rice. If you're not sure how to cook rice, you can check out my how to cook rice video on YouTube and hook yourself up. To this sauce, we will be adding 1½ tablespoons of sugar, 1/2 tablespoon of parsley flakes, 1/2 teaspoon of basil, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, a dash of some crushed red pepper, and 2 bay leaves. I'm going to blend this all in. Make sure it's mixed really good. We're going to raise our fire just a tad. Just to get some slight bubbling here, but be careful because this thing will spit at you. You see that right there? Woo! Watch out for that guy. But once you start seeing it doing that, that's when you know it's pretty hot. So give it one last good stir there. Then we'll put our top back on and we'll lower to a simmering heat. And we're going to come back and stir this probably once every 10 minutes or so, maybe a little sooner. But we want this to cook down for a couple hours. All right, so I moved this pot over so I could bring in another pot to get the filling cooking. We're going to get this one heated up. Probably onto like a medium heat. All right, guys, so I'm chopping up some vegetables for my filling. Here I have 1 bunch of green onion, 2 sticks of celery, and 1 yellow onion. Just gonna go ahead and get this chopped up. Just like that. I know what you're thinking, but let me tell you, too much pie on one video keep you up at night, because it's scary. Sound like we popping popcorn up in there. Look, guys, this is a thick sauce right here, and we're making it thick because when we add it to all the cabbage, that's gonna probably thin it out a little bit. The cabbage is gonna release some more water. So be very careful when you come in and stir this. Just barely lift the lid, stir it a little bit, and then kind of go from there. I've removed my rice off to the side here because I wanted to, kind of finish cooking for about 5 minutes. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to put it in a separate bowl so it can cool. All right, to my hot pot over here, I'm adding about a tablespoon of this Novello olive oil from Rouse's. And there we go. And then drop in my vegetables. Scoop that in. Look at that, boys. Hot, so it's kind of browning up quick. Like I tell you guys, if you things browning up quick like this, you lower your fire a little bit. Every oven, stove, whatever is different. You got to find it, learn it. And then even from here too, I might throw a little bit more of this olive oil, just to help coat this pan and get these vegetables cooking evenly. So we're going to cook this down for about 10 minutes. And I appreciate you guys sticking around with me. I know this is not going to be one of my simpler, quick videos, which I don't have many of those anyway. But yeah, we're just going to keep on cooking. So this has been cooking down for roughly 10 minutes. At this time, we add in a tablespoon of minced garlic. And we got it that time right there in the center. Just go ahead and blend that in there, mix it around. All right, so we've been sauteing this for a few more minutes. Now we will add in 1 pound of a 85% lean ground beef and 1 pound of a hot breakfast sausage. And I know my wife is making fun of the way I say sausage. Sausage! All right, so we're gonna get this all broke up and mixed in together here. I didn't really blend it together. I just said, screw it, I'll cook it down and blend it together in this pot. But if you want to mix it all up, then add it in. That's fine too. All right, now that we got this blended pretty well, we're going to go ahead and add some seasoning here. We got 1 tablespoon of parsley flakes and 1 tablespoon of seasoning. Of course, or your favorite Cajun or Creole seasoning, ladies and gentlemen. Also, you can add 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. All right, this is done cooking, ladies and gentlemen. Looks really good, smells really good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this fire off here. And then I will actually move this to another bowl so that it can also cool like my rice. And when I move it to a bowl, I mean a bowl that is not metal. Because if it's metal, it's going to, kind of hold that heat a little bit. So plastic bowl preferably. Preferably? I don't know. All right, guys, time to start removing these outer layers of this cabbage. You want to do this gently. It still can tear, but it should be a lot easier since we boiled it first. As you can see, it just peels back a lot better because it has softened and it's more malleable. And there you go, a cabbage for our cabbage roll. And again, as you can see, we gently pull it back, comes right off, just like that. All right, guys, something I want to show y'all. If you want, you can go ahead and slice this little end right here, just kind of carve it off. It's a little bit tougher than the rest of the cabbage, and some people may not want that hard bite in their cabbage roll. And you can do as much of it as you want, but as you can see, it's almost like a piece of celery when you take it off, but it's just something I like to do. Makes the whole thing consistent. Okay, guys, so don't be alarmed here if you get towards these last few and they're a little tougher to peel off and you just so happen to maybe break one or put a little slit in it like you see here. You see the little slit? It's going to be just fine. You'll still be able to make a roll out of this, and if the sauce gets in there, it's still going to be really good. So don't worry. All right, so for this core here, it gets a little tough to make some rolls out of it, but you can use this if you want. You can chop it up and maybe put little small bits of cabbage in the casserole, or you could just save this for some kind of cabbage soup and use it to make your stock. Whatever you want to do with it's up to you. All right, so I'm going to start mixing my rice in with the filling. I'll probably start off with about half for now. Get it mixed in and gradually add a little bit more. Just going to gently fold that in there so that the rice and meat are just consistent throughout the cabbage roll. Whew, look at Gumbo. Yeah, he knows what's up. I didn't use all of it though. I got a small amount left, maybe about a third of a cup here. I kind of wanted to mix into my preference, but you can mix all of it, or you can even do less than this. You kind of do what you like, base it on your own preference. All right, what I will show you guys is that I'm sprinkling in here a half a cup of some seasoned breadcrumbs, some Italian breadcrumbs is what I bought. I'm gonna do a little bit on the top there and then kind of blend that in, get the bottom to the top and then sprinkle some more. That way they get evenly blended in. Okay, I've mixed that in and now I have a large egg here that I've scrambled. And then I'm gonna, gradually mix a little bit of that in here too. Well, I guess I'll get most of it all in. And that's just gonna help things get binded together. And I'll just mix that in. And there you go. It's all mixed up. All right, guys, this sauce is done. At this time, go ahead and preheat your oven to 375 degrees. In a 9x13 casserole dish, I'm adding a small layer of my sauce here just to get this bottom coated. And then I'll wrap my cabbage rolls and place each one on top of this sauce. All right, and give me a nice portion of this filling here and put it inside this cabbage leaf. A little bit more. Kind of have to eyeball it, however thick you want them to be. And then I kind of just wrap them up like an egg roll. I just kind of roll them up real tight here, fold it out real good, and then I'll pinch the sides in. But you kind of have to get it a certain width so that you can put them in accordingly. See, this looks pretty good here. I think I'm just going to roll it a little tighter so that way they can fit side by side. There we go. And that should work right there. All right, let's keep rolling. Just going to show you guys, I'm putting the flap of the leaf on the bottom there so it's all smooth on the top, won't bust open, and they're tight in there side by side. All right, guys, so I was able to get 10 solid, cabbage rolls here. I made sure I kind of put some sauce in between each one. And now from here, I'm going to lather some sauce along the top, like so. And look, your preference on how much sauce you want, I like to really smother it here so that way this cabbage gets cooked down. I'm going to throw this in the oven. It's going to be delicious. And there we go. So I'm going to get this thing covered up with some foil and we'll get it in the oven. Let that cook for an hour and a half. What you think, Hazel? This thing is done. Woo. All right, here we go. All right, so you're going to want to let this thing cool for probably about 10 minutes because it's piping hot. And I'm telling you, it's worth the wait. Woo, man, this looks good. I'm ready to dive in. Man, that looks good. The filling looks good. The sauce is nice and thick on top like a red gravy. It's time to dive in. Look at the inside of this, man. This looks so good. I hope you guys can see that. Man, looks really good. I don't know if I'll be able to like cut it with a fork here, so I got me a little knife. Gonna cut a little bite here so I can at least give you guys a bite. I know that's what y'all want to see, generally. All right, that's a little everything. Little cabbage, little stuffing, filling, some sauce. Yes, indeed. The inside has a nice kick to it with the Cajun seasoning, paella, you know. The sauce is cooked down really good. It's got this good salty, sweet marinara that you know and love from you know, I guess like a red sauce. But man, that filling, I love the filling. That is good. Oh man, I'm about to just slam this whole thing right here. I'm so hungry, right? This took me several hours and I didn't eat no lunch today. So forgive me as I take on my eating challenge here. One big bite. That is so good. If you've ever had a cabbage roll and you love cabbage rolls, I'm telling you, you're gonna really like this way. The mix of the pork and the ground beef, which I say pork, it was a pork breakfast sausage, but it was the hot blend, which I don't necessarily find that to be very spicy. It just has a nice kick to it. And then, you know, you add your different flavors to that meat and ground beef, cook it down, add the rice, and then the seasoned breadcrumbs. We didn't cut any corners. I mean, we started off with the Novello olive oil from Rouse's, which I'm telling you, this stuff is so good. You can eat it, you know, just with some bread and oil. And then from there, you know, we cooked everything down beautifully. Boiling that cabbage in the beginning helps it gets tender, so that way it finishes off in the oven. I'm telling you guys, this is a great one to bring in the new year, and I hope you give it a try. Well, that is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. The way to end off our year here, nothing better than a good old cabbage roll. A lot of you guys have been asking for this one for a long time. Finally, we have knocked this out. And if you give it a try, please tag me. Let me know how it came out. I'm always interested. And look, change this up however you like. You want to add more seasoning, add more seasoning. You want to tone it down, tone it down. I'm always going to say forever, you do you. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Paya! Don't mean that much to me, cause I got higher definition in my reality to do.